Hello everyone and welcome back to QuicksaveTV. In this episode of Skyrim Tutorials we're gonna talk about the Archery. First, let's go ahead and discuss the skill in many details. I should have actually prepared it. Let's go select all the way up. Come on, Archery. Okay, Archery, okay. We're gonna talk about all the... I actually liked Archery quite a bit, so I selected all of the skills just to see what they do, and I'm gonna talk about all of them in detail, how they influence the gameplay, which ones I think are useless and which ones are useful, and theorize about that. Let's begin. The first one and the most useful, let's say, in the as a practical skill, the overdraw. Bows do twice as much damage. It's the fifth step. Each of the steps gives you 20%, just as any other damage and ability. Like in one-handed, two-handed, and with a bow, you have the 20% increase in damage. So you will gradually take it, right? And you're gonna finish taking it at level 80 of your archery. It will give you gigantic boost in the damage output. Now after that we have the division of the skill tree on two parts. I like to refer to them as the sniper, the left one, and the ranger, the right one. Sniper tree is more of the damage dealing tree. Ranger is more of the practicality tree, which all ends on the last skill, which is called Bullseye. 15% chance of paralyzing the target for a few seconds. An absolute disbalanced skill, but we'll come to that. Let's start by talking a little bit by Ranger. Critical shot. It has 3 steps, which the last one you'll be able to take on level 90. It's 20% chance of critical hit that does 50% more critical damage. Okay, so it's an okay as a skill. I wouldn't say it's an absolute something, but you have to remember that you don't have to pay anything for the skill. It's very useful in the meaning that you just get a passive 20% chance to deal a critical hit. It's very useful, but it's not absolute most. The best thing about this skill is that even if you go to the sniper tree, you can still take it because it's just one step deviation. Okay. The next one is Hunter's Discipline, requires 50. This one is absolute useless skill and it shouldn't be in the game as such. It allows you to recover twice as many arrows from dead bodies. Now it's an absolutely economical skill, a practical economical skill, which allows you to retrieve the arrows you use. Now first of all, you'll have enough money to buy the things from the shop. You'll have enough money to buy the arrows from the shop. Retrieving the arrows is not critically important perk, and it's just a waste of a skill. I'm just gonna say it right now, and you have to keep it in mind. It's a gigantic waste, but it unlocks you the way to the Ranger. Ranger allows you to move faster with a drawn bow. By move faster, they understand that you move unhindered. You will run with the bow drawn just as you would if you would be just running, right? It requires 16. It's the top of the Ranger's tree, and it's very useful, very effective. And then we have the Bullseye, which is universal for both trees, which has 15% chance of paralyzing the target for a few seconds. An absolute disbalanced thing, which paralyzes the target for, say, like 10 seconds. And sometimes it just randomly occurs, and I would have to say it's very effective, very useful to crowd control and everything, and it's absolutely not balanced. Now let's go ahead to the sniper tree, which starts on the level 30 with Eagle Eye. Pressing block while aiming will zoom in your view. I would say that Eagle Eye as such is not very useful on its own, because you're not going to use it a lot of time. You'll probably use it for hunting for the lols of it, right, for the LOLs of it, but it's not as useful as you would expect on its own. Then we have the deviation from Eagle's Eye called Steady Hand. Steady Hand has 2 levels, which with 25% increase, which allows you while you're zooming with your bow, slows down the time by 50% in total. 25 and 25, 50% in total. This one is, I would argue that it's enough to take 25%. 50% seems overly much. You will be able to see that. It seems too much, not particularly useful, or, you know, I wouldn't say that you should take it. Like, at least you should. If you take the sniper tree, you should take Eagle Eye and Steady Hand 1 out of 2. Don't take 2 out of 2, because it's just an overkill and it won't help a lot. 25% slowdown is already gigantic and it will be really useful. 50% is overly much and won't allow you to track the enemy's movements as effectively, because it would seem overly slow. Then from the Eagle's Eye you continue to Power Shot, which unlocks on 50. Now this one is the critical perk in the sniper tree. Arrows stagger all but the largest opponents 50% of the time. I would say it's a very, very strong perk, which staggering essentially means that you will stagger opponents just as you would if you bash them with your shield or hit them with a power attack with your weapons, right? It's the same thing, but it doesn't matter if they're blocking or not. They're going to be staggered anyway, and they usually are not blocking when they're approaching you. So this is very important skill to crowd control, and it's actually probably the strongest, the most practical skill out of all the archer skills, which allows you to crowd control very easily. And with each second hit you will be able to stagger the enemy. It's great. You stagger the enemy for 2 to 3 seconds, which is again enough time to draw another arrow and hope that you're going to stagger him again. That's very useful, and certainly you should have it. Then we have quick shot, can draw bow 30% faster. Now this one is useful, but you have to remember that it's not an ultimate skill of this tree. I'd say the ultimate is a power shot. The quick shot is just okay. It does increase your DPS by 30% and allows you to throw arrows faster, but it's not as critical. It's certainly useful, but not very critical. Excuse me. And then we go all the way to bullseye, and with 15% chance of paralyzing the enemy. Now, I would say, excuse me again, I would say that you can select whichever skills are necessary for your playstyle, but overall I would say that the left tree, the sniper tree, is much stronger than the ranger tree, because of the skills such as power shot, quick shot, and 25%, 1 out of 2 steady hand, first rank of steady hand. In the rangers tree we have very useful critical shot, absolutely useless hunter's discipline, and limitedly useful ranger, right? The ranger tree is a little bit shorter if you don't use the deviation on the sniper. It's the same length, but I would say the sniper tree is overall stronger. However, I increased all of them because I was really interested in archery, and now I'm gonna show you on the field how would it work. Don't forget, I have all of these perks available right now. Now you can see I draw the bow a little bit faster. I can move with the same speed. I'm not hindered because of the ranger tree, and I stagger the enemy 50% of the time. Also, the damage is gigantic because of the overdraw skill. It increases the damage output dramatically. The 50% slowdown is overly much, I would say. It doesn't help very much. 25% is more than enough, in all honesty. Again, in order to be effective with any weapon disciplines, you have to keep in mind that it would be beneficial for you to have the smith skill, because you will be able to improve your weaponry to the dramatic values, such as with my glass bow. I improved it as much as I could, right? And now it deals 143 damage, without counting the ebony arrows, which deal additional 20 damage, which is in total 163. It's a devastating, gigantic damage from afar, and I also stagger the enemies 50% of the time. Now we're just gonna go ahead and just Beligich Mine just to show some tricks with the bow. Bow in general works very well with sneak perk tree. It doesn't have a lot of let's say, it doesn't have a lot of support from sneak, but you can get one free hit which will deal a lot of damage. Let's just go ahead and find someone to kill. Okay, that was the paralysis. Paralysis lasts for a while. In this case, the enemy didn't even have enough time to stand up after the paralysis. Okay, on this way we shall conclude this tutorial about the archery. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoy my tutorials. Go ahead, check other videos on my channel. Subscribe, like, and share with your friends if you enjoyed it. Come back for more content and have a great day. Thank you very much, and bye bye.